Ready to go live. We're live. We're live.
Hello. I gotta put my hands here. There you go.
It's Bruce, Tony, and Don. We're live on TWB worldwide audience of hundreds and hundreds of people. How are you all doing out there? Welcome to the show. I'm the host tonight because tonight we're on Traveling with Bruce. I've got Tony here from Lolita Loca. And I've got Don here from Don's Family Vacations. And man, we have more fun talking off the air. So to finish that joke, a Polish guy, and we'll do that after the show's over. So folks, welcome to TWB and our live show tonight. Say hi to us. Tell us where you watching us from. And please say hi to my fantastic guests. It's such a treat for me to have fellow YouTubers on the air at the same time, and we get to compare notes, which we love to do, and we'd be more than happy to answer whatever questions you have for us. If you have anything you want to know from the brains of YouTube, we are. It's true. I did describe it today. We are
a lot of pressure.
Yeah, don't build us up too much.
YouTube. We are the sex symbols that YouTube is looking for. They talk about, you got to be 18 to 24 and you got to be a gamer. And if you got to be, no, the true stars of YouTube, you're looking at them right now. These are the faces of success on YouTube. Women everywhere around the world just wish, oh God, did they wish that we were on radio. But that's another story entirely. I'm not going there. We're here. And we're going to have some fun, and we'd love to have you join us and say hi to us, and welcome one and all to TWB. Guys, how's it going? Who wants
Don, how are you, sir?
I'm doing really, really well, guys. It's blowing here like it's a hurricane.
Oh, wow.
But other than that, it's pretty good.
Yikes. What was your high today?
I think we're just hitting 4.
Celsius.
Yeah.
Oh,
not even at 40 degrees. Oh my gosh.
Hold on, I got to pull up some sort of translator to figure out what 4 is.
Yeah, that's like
that's around 40. Yeah, 40, yeah. 42.
Yikes. That's
gonna be that kind of night. I need somebody to tell me what all these conversions are a boot. I'm just sitting here trying to figure it out.
The boot and out in the boot. We were hitting 70, 75 Fahrenheit today. Beautiful sunny day here in Crescent. Gorgeous. And we're so thankful that all the smoke is gone from those, California and Oregon wild forest fires.
Yeah,
we were socked in for about 5-6 days. Just quarter-mile visibility, just terrible.
Well, I was in BC just a week and a half or so ago, and I saw the skies at night. You can see the clouds from the forest fires through the mountains.
Yeah. I saw some YouTube videos. I love following some other YouTubers as well. And there's a couple that live in a little van. And Kara and Nate, I don't know if you know.
Yeah, I know them.
Love those guys. And they were showing some sunset footage where the sun was like a bright orange color because it was going. The sun was shining through the horizon, which was polluted with the smoke particles and stuff. It kind of looked pretty, but you also realize how depressing it was.
Yeah, it's a menacing pretty. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. Decent weather for you, Tony, down in Florida way?
Yeah, it's been interesting. So here I am on the west coast of Florida, just north of Tampa. Today it was 92 degrees Fahrenheit. We've been sitting in a little bit of a cold spell, though. We were 84, 85 all last week, which makes swimming impossible. You guys know how it is when you can't get in your swimming pool. And so it's been a struggle the last week, but today it was hot. We went out and about a little bit, and it was it's a little warm, but I guess that's the fall for you. 92 in October. I mean, what can you do?
Yeah, well, you gotta take the tough times, Being YouTube Madonnas that we are, we have handlers, we have our people, and they report the weather to us. They tell us what the conditions are, and then when it's safe to go out, we are escorted out to our pool area, and we enjoy the accoutrements of being famous. What can I say?
Almost like you got a camera at my house, Bruce.
Yep, I'm a stalker. What can I say? We follow you, and you're all linked in, buddy. There's no privacy for you. Fantastic. I can't complain about our fall weather. I have to say, we'll take it and we'll run with it and see how long it lasts. But apparently, here in Creston next week, our highs will only be in the mid 50s. We'll start to have low 40s as our lows, and fall is in the air. The leaves certainly are turning here, no question about it. And apparently, in Calgary, 5-6 hours from here, where I used to live, the leaves are falling. I mean, it's all over. A special shout out to Paper City Gamer Jeff tonight. Thank you, Jeff, for Super Chat. We really appreciate it, and thank you for watching. All of you out there, say hi to us. Whole bunch of folks are here. I see about 310 are in the house right now. Welcome, all of you. Some of the folks who are here would be ABAWP. I don't know what that stands for. Whose viewer is this? I don't recognize that viewer. Is that one of your channels, guys?
I've not seen ABAWP, but welcome.
Yeah.
All right. Ryan Tube is here. Tom Henry's one of my buds. I think Tom also watches you, Tony, and also Don. Thank you. Kirk Brunson is here. Hi, Kirk. Welcome from New York City. Lovely to have you. Rob Slevin here as well. How you doing? He's welcoming all you guys, both of you guys here. Fantastic. The messages are coming in fast and furious. Tyler Show is here. Sylvan Forrest is here. Sylvan, welcome. Sylvan's in the hospital in Florida. He's been in the hospital for over 160 days, and he is coming out. He is about to be sprung loose after a long battle, and I'm really glad to see him here. This is fantastic. Welcome, buddy. Keep it going, man. Come get home soon. John Hunaday, hi, gang. Following you from Montebello, South California, 86 degrees. I can handle it. I really miss the Palm Desert weather I used to enjoy. I think Canadian travel professionals like yourself and Don should concentrate more on promoting domestic travel venues and advocate for the Canadian government to open ports for cruising in 2021. Thank you, Dave C.
We're trying.
We do what we can. So, Don, you were in Western Canada for, was it a wedding you had to come out for?
Yeah, some subscribers of mine that I also met on a cruise ship about 4.5 years ago were getting married. And we were just chatting one day on the cell phone, and they joked around saying that their trip to Italy and everything was canceled in Greece because of the virus. And they said they're getting married in British Columbia. And I said, hey, well, I didn't get an invite. Next thing I know, I have an invite. And sure enough, I jumped in the car and I drove across the country and spent a few days down with my old friends. A small little, beautiful little family inn. And it was all family for the wedding. The big, beautiful brisket supper, and it was really, really good.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed seeing my friend, and I enjoyed just driving and seeing, all of Ontario, all of the wet prairies and the mountains. I don't get to see the mountains unless I'm on a cruise.
Yeah.
So, I love driving across Canada.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's still a lot of things closed that you can't do. So, you get to a tourist area, but the tourist places are closed. So it's kind of hard to say, hey, let's go traveling when you get there, it's closed. So.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you can't, nothing you can do about it too. I would imagine though, you were on the Trans-Canada Highway pretty well across, and so all the gas stops were open pretty well. And
those are open. About half of the hotels are open along the way. So you have to pick and choose your way as you go. Yeah. Some were a lot more stringent with mask policies. Others were, depending on where you were.
Interesting. Yeah.
But overall, everybody, I thought, behaved themselves really well. And everybody just, if they're not wearing masks or anything, they kept their distance and everything. So everyone was respectable, which is typical.
Very nice.
We see that all the time. So can't complain.
You boys need to fly into Florida. It's a whole different feeling down here. I don't think clothes are required down here. You don't have to be distant. You don't need a mask. You don't need nothing. It's wide open.
It's the Wild West, man.
Wild West.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Tony, you're going on a road trip. You're coming up for a little getaway yourself?
Yeah, we might get away for a little bit, but we're keeping it under wraps, Bruce. That was the before the show conversation. Now everybody knows.
Top secret news.
Where are you going, Tony? Where are you going?
I'm going to Ottawa. Okay. No, I mean, I got
You
a
said
friend
you
that's
went
going
to
to
Canada for a wedding.
get me across the border. So
Some guy you met in a cruise about 5-6 years ago, getting married, and he's heading up to Western Canada to check it out. No
right.
worries. We'll keep that under wraps. No one knows. Rebecca
Nobody knows.
Reimer, thank you so much for a super sticker tonight. Thank you. And also, First Sergeant Richard, thank you for your service, sir. Also making a donation to the cause. And Mickey's my spirit animal. Thank you also
Disney fan.
for popping in here with a donation. We really appreciate it. You guys are fantastic as always. Well, news today in the cruise world, man. Oh man, guys. Did you see the story about Princess? They were talking about 3 of their ships being deployed in Europe. I just read today that the new one, the Enchanted Princess, that just hasn't had a paying passenger yet, it's going to be home porting out of Rome. And I thought that ship was
supposed to come here.
Yeah, North America, right? Yeah. And then the Sky Princess and the Regal Princess are going to be home porting out of Southampton and doing a bunch of European cruising.
See, I knew the Regal is going there because of the Enchanted and Sky were going to be here. But now they're even sending the Sky, which is their other new ship, right? It just launched. So
kind of makes you wonder. Of course, now, for those who you don't know, Princess is owned by Carnival. It's one of the Carnival lines. They have 9 lines. But I kind of wonder, they're not going to say this, but my speculation is it so restrictive perhaps in the US that they would rather take their chances in Europe with COVID there and or more stringent testing or protocols or what? I don't know, rather than bring the ships to Miami, Fort Lauderdale, or Port Canaveral. Hard to say.
I mean, for me, I think you got to go where the business is. Of course, the UK has not come off of that order to keep cruising or let cruising open back up. Yeah. But they are making, honestly, they're just making better strides in Europe right now when it comes to returning to cruising. And these guys need some revenue somewhere. So it makes sense to me that if they're sending them to the UK, though, I don't know if they know something that we don't know, because I think it feels as locked down there as it does here. But maybe they're going to have a quicker path to getting going there. I don't know, but I can't see them making that transatlantic trip with some of those ships if they're not already over there, if they don't have a lead on the ability to get some work done. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think most of Princess's ships are over there already, aren't they?
Yeah, they bugged out. And obviously, I'm kind of getting the impression that maybe they have a suspicion that there won't be any Alaska cruises in 2021 at Canadian ports. Don, do we know anything about what's going on in Canada, about the Canadian shutdown going past the end of this year?
It's still so up in the air right now because Alaska desperately needs cruising back. Yeah. But Victoria and Vancouver are making waves saying, hey, we're going to cut them back. And if there's no Victoria, there's no Vancouver, there's no Seattle, there's no LA, right? So
right, there's no Alaska then, yeah.
But Alaska's lost over 50% of their income from those cruise port cities. Like, how do you survive, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
I mean, how many? I know there are a number of entrepreneurs, retail entrepreneurs, who in the winter they live in the southern U.S.
Caribbean, yeah.
Spring they fly up or drive up or however they get up to Anchorage and Skagway and the other spots. They rent a retail store, set up their business for the summer season, which is let's face it, most of it is cruising. The number of people are coming in from cruise ships. They set up, they pay their rent, they hire staff locally, do their business, and then in the fall they shut her down and back down they go and spend the winter back down south. They've lost all this year. Those landlords up in Anchorage who've been getting top dollar in rent from these summertime entrepreneurs got zero this year. And now what's going to happen next year? I'm wondering if Canada's going to do another additional shutdown for another full season. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is there a date currently on the is Canada open-ended, or do they have a date that they're going to reevaluate those cruise ports?
Remember, Don, was it the end of October or November?
It's the end of November. Basically, the minute cruising ended in Alaska. It's basically the time that they ended.
Gives them some runway for next year.
Yeah.
that also screwed up, of course, the Maritimes for those New England cruises that are gorgeous with the fantastic fall foliage and all that. Quebec City and oh my gosh.
Well, did you just see they just did a big article? Halifax cruise port area alone lost over $150 million in revenue, just the port.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, and Halifax isn't like, it's not New York. You know, it doesn't have that income coming in. You know what I mean? So
no, I mean they'd have 2 or 3 ships in a day, maybe. St. John.
Only at the very busy times too. Yeah.
Right. Newfoundland really got hit, and Prince Edward Island. We have a province called Prince Edward Island. They have 40,000 people living on the whole island. The entire province is 40,000 people, but they get a pretty good number of cruise ships coming in there. And that really hurts because you're dividing these millions of dollars among the 40,000. The tax revenue coming in was huge. So it's all gone this year. And if they extend the shutdown into next spring, summer again, there's another season gone. It's devastating, really devastating.
I'm thinking, I've been saying all along, and like you guys pretty much have too, cruises are starting in the United States around Christmas. Not much before that. You're going to see a few cruises for Christmas, and then we'll ramp up for next year. Look at the Odyssey of the Seas, postponed until April of next year now, right?
Yeah.
But after saying that, the Apex is on its way to the United States.
That's right.
What's going on?
Yeah, that's right. They were supposed to keep that ship in Europe this year, right?
Yeah. So.
I don't know. By the way, just quick shout out to Danny Combs. Thank you, Danny, for your donation. Jason Alexander, thank you, and Anthony Pena, thank you. I noticed these bars coming across, and I gotta say hi to thank you, everybody. Everyone else who's here, thank you, all of you who are here. We are covering the cruise thing today. We're gonna sort of answer some questions between ourselves because this is a rare opportunity where the three of us actually get to compare notes between ourselves as to what we're doing other than watching our own videos. The shutdown and the restart. Yes, I found it interesting in the last, 3 days now? Carnival, Norwegian, Royal Caribbean, and their, all the lines that they run.
Yeah.
No cruising for November, even though theoretically the CDC and the White House came to an agreement. CDC said February to 2021, and the White House said November 1st, 2020, and they agreed on what the White House wanted. And now the cruise lines are shutting down, not sailing November at all, even though they're allowed to sail. I'm wondering about the election playing a big part on this. You're the chairman, the CEO of these cruise lines. You know the 3rd of November, what's going to happen. There's going to be an election. If it's the same administration that wins, cruising starts. There'll be no extended shutdown. But if it's a shift, the press is going to go to the new people and say, what are your thoughts on everything, including travel? And they might start saying, as soon as we take over the White House, we're shutting it down like the CDC wanted shut down before. And maybe these cruise lines are going, why don't we talk about cruising for December now in October? We'll delay it, and let's see what happens in the first week of November. And then from there, we'll take it. What are your thoughts on that hot topic?
Yeah, I mean, for me, we saw them get around the virtual table and pound on the table a little bit before the no-sell order extended and said, let us cruise, man. You got to shut down, and people are losing money, and we got people out of work. Let us cruise, man. Don't extend the no-sell order. And I feel like if the no-sell order would have just expired at the end of the month, that would have given – I think the cruise lines are worried about the no-sell order being extended again. And so you've got companies, you got businesses that are cash strapped that are going to have to spend some of that reserve capital to get their cruise ships ready to cruise again. Imagine if they spend this whole month, whatever amount of money it takes to get ships going, ready for a November start date, and all of a sudden we get to the end of this month and they extend the no-sell order again, then that's just wasted money. They put crew on contract. They've spent money for provisioning. They've got people ready to go. They've got to put these testing protocols in place. They've got to put all these things in place. So I think a little bit, and then Del Rio comes out a couple days later and saying, I need 60 days. So I think what Del Rio wants is 60 days of free and clear time to operate, free and clear, not under the shadow of the no-sell order. So I feel like if the no-sell order would have expired on the 30th, that 60-day clock would have started. But now they're just punting. They're like, okay, well, we're not free and clear for, October to be working, knowing that we're going to cruise in October or November. So let's just take another 30 days and try to start the clock. I do like what Carnival has done. And Carnival, they do have the most piles of money sitting around. So it is feasible that they can get 1 or 2 ships ready to go, take the risk. And Arnold Donald said in that Sea Trade meeting that they're in constant contact with the authorities. And so they should have some good sense about whether or not they're going to be able to sail or not. Right. I feel like Carnival could come and cancel whatever they have going out of Port Canaveral and Miami in November, or they could sneak 1 or 2 ships out. I mean, to me, I feel like you got to turn the water faucet on a little bit and get that thing dripping, because if you don't start, you're never going to get to the point where we get a lot of cruises going. And I think they got to start. And I think they're going to have a taste for starting because they've got Costa going, they've got AIDA going, and, Arnold Donald's going to raise his hand and say, we're doing this in Europe. Let's get some money going. That's what I think.
Right on.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Don?
Well, quite frankly, I don't think it matters who wins the election, because it's now coming to the point where all the different subsidies the governments have given to businesses and that to keep their employees going. The airlines are only good till October. Theme parks have just laid off 28,000 people. Oh, by the way, the CEOs reinitiated their salaries, so they're still getting their $20 million a year, but they're firing 28,000 employees. Good for them. Good job. I'm glad they're looking after everybody at Disney. And I'm a big Disney fan. It hurts me to say that because I'm such a Disney fanatic, right? But yeah, I don't think it matters, because it's all coming to a head now where you're going to see hundreds of thousands of people and businesses closing and losing their jobs. So the government's just going to have to say it's open at some point, because we can't have 50% unemployment. Right. And that goes everywhere. It's.
Yeah, the new administration won't take over until late January anyways. Yeah. And so if the election is going to be a catalyst for the next shutdown, then I guess we will know it early November if all of a sudden, but they're not going to, say that the power changes hands based on the election. I don't think they're going to be able to dictate policy in November, December until they take power in January. So it's, I think it's going to open up. I mean, there's no other industry that's being hamstrung like this. I'm not one that believes that the CDC is anti-cruising or anything like that.
I am.
I know that Don is. I don't believe that. Like I've said it before, I'm happy that the CDC is a bulldog. I think that the fact that and the way I see that meeting between the CDC and the administration, they're all on the same task force. That was a task force meeting. So that's like if all of us were on a team together and I say, hey, I think we should do this. And you say, no, we're going to do this. And you got a little more stroke than I do. Then that's what you're going to do. I don't see like 2 warring factions outside a building somewhere having a battle. I think it's just like if we were all on the same team. And so I think you have an administration right now that's ready to let them cruise, because the optics of it is to show that you have to strike this balance in life between public health and the ability to run an economy. And the reality, and I'll be the guy that says it, the CDC have provided these guidelines that say, go ahead and open up, just do these guidelines. And where we've seen the problems happen is when people open up and don't do the guidelines. And so I can see that's why I would be hacked off too if I said, look, I hear you. You want to open up, but do the guidelines. And you go, no, I'm just going to open up and not do the guidelines. How about that? And of course I would be hacked off and go, well, that's not safe. Right. And so, I don't know why the CDC would have an axe to grind with the cruise industry. They've worked with the cruise industry for years. They've got the vessel sanitation program. There's other ways they could have crippled them, and I don't think this is that. But I do think that all those guys that work at the CDC, history is going to write the book and say, did you try to keep people safe, or did you just roll over in a time where people are pushing against you? I would be saying, let's keep people safe, and that's the balance I see in them striking in that task force. But it's not the popular opinion, but that's my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough one. What I find interesting and amazing is that you've been allowed to fly in the U.S. Domestically, wherever you want. Get on American Airlines from New York to St. Louis or Spokane to Vegas. Take your flights. But in reality, with all that freedom that's being offered people to travel domestically, the airlines numbers are way down, and they're bleeding money everywhere. And now we're hearing desperate pleas from the CEOs of the airlines. Please pass this next stimulus thing, because the talk is another $25 billion in aid is available for the airlines. Then I read today from one of the financial sites that the airlines in the U.S. are expected to lose this year, for the second half of 2020, $77 billion.
Ooh.
What's the $25 billion going to do for you guys? I don't even know how that even keeps it going. And what blows me away in a way, being a business guy, I love following the business side of things. You get so many people out there who are saying, look, if you can't cut it, you got to go out of business, you got to go under. That's just it. You can't pay your bills, you go broke, and that's it. Well, except for the airlines. The airlines have such a political clout in Washington that there are senators and congressmen everywhere saying, oh, no, the airlines are special. We're going to keep them alive. And $25 billion of taxpayers' money is going to go in there. Somehow they're going to try to make this work. But right now, of course, everything's stalled with all of the negotiations not going anywhere. Hotels, like you said, Don, you're driving across Canada. There's hotels everywhere that are closed. Restaurants aren't open. These mom and pops are devastated. Where I am in British Columbia, many mom and pop businesses have shut down, either temporarily for 6 months or maybe forever. For rent signs are everywhere around here. I mean, storefronts, restaurant. You want to put a restaurant right now? I got some locations for you, but no customers. The thing I'm wondering about is, all right, cruising is allowed to start. First thing the cruise lines did is delayed the start till December. Fair enough. I understand the 60-day thing that Del Rio's talking about. I get it. You try to get a worldwide bunch of crew members together to your fleet of ships, which are scattered all over the place, and you've got restrictions on international air travel, restrictions on Homeland Security and U.S. Customs. Can't fly them into Miami to a ship. Can't do that all that easily. How do you get this thing started? But now I'm thinking, all right, so let's say the cruise lines do want to start cruising in the middle of December and into January and February. I can see an initial rush of passengers who are going to want to go, but is it sustainable? Will people back off and go, just like with the airlines and just like with Disney World in Orlando, Universal Studios? They're not showing up. These layoffs, Disney didn't lay off 28,000 people because they're mean. They're doing it because they're not coming through the front door right now. And of course, California is still shut down. I'll give them that. And Tony, you probably know this more than anybody. The number of deals being offered by the cruise parks, the big theme parks in Florida for local Floridians. Come to Universal Studio, buy a pass, a one-day pass, and we'll give you extra passes for nothing. Just please show up. But I wonder, I'll start with you, Don. First of all, do you think that cruising will maybe start with a bit of a bang and then tail off because people are nervous about it?
I think as long as things go smoothly, I think people will still go. I think there'll be a steady trickle. They can't bring on 100 ships at one time, but the slow, gradual pace bringing them up. I still have 250 people booked on 2 cruises next year. No one's canceling because they want to go. So a lot of it depends on that. And remember, when you just made that comment, a lot of people are saying, if you can't make it in business, your business isn't making any money, you're going to close. However, that's different if somebody's telling you you can't open your business.
Right.
That's not a business failing. That's somebody telling you you're going to fail. Right. And that's my problem with it. The only industry in the entire world that is not allowed to try and work out through the virus is cruising. Yeah. Every other industry in the world, no matter what it is, We're sending kids to school.
Yeah.
Colleges of 20,000 kids are in school. We can't put 1,000 people on a 6,000 person cruise ship.
Right.
So that's the part that bothers me, because we've proven in Europe, you follow the protocols, it works. The CDC says, do these protocols. It works. Right. Okay. So why are they not allowed to start? Even if they would have said, you know what, Carnival, you can do it on 2 ships. Royal Caribbean, you can do it on 2 ships. We're going to test you for 90 days.
Yeah.
They didn't do nothing. And now they wanted to extend it to next year for 5 more months?
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, what business can survive a full year of no money?
Billion a month burn rate for those the big 3.
It's incredible. So yeah, but I think there people who like us, if you love cruising, you're going to want to go on a cruise the second you can. Whether you want to cruise with a mask or not is a different story, but we're hoping that we won't have masks for 10 years, right? We're hoping this all starts to go away.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Tony, what are your thoughts on these theme parks offering unbelievable deals, the layoffs, and then the whole deal?
Well, from what I understand, for people that are going to theme parks, it's not that great of an experience. So 2 things about cruising. If you put me on a cruise ship and I've got a balcony cabin, even if I can't do some of the things that I normally do, that is a big component of cruising for me, is to sit there, enjoy the sea, that kind of thing. And so what we've seen on what's going on in Europe, there's masks, there's social distancing, but there's still shows and casinos and food and ocean views and being on the sea and going to places not drastically different, other than a few things, than what we're used to. What I've seen with these theme parks is it is drastically different. Some things aren't allowed to be open. They can't have, certain kind of things that you had before. And a lot of people are saying, why would I pay a premium to go do that and not even have any kind of experience that's close to what I'm used to? The second thing for cruising is people have money invested, and sometimes you'll do crazy stuff if you don't want to lose your money. And so if you think about it, there are people that have thousands of dollars that are already in cruises. Cruise lines are holding the money month by month and then maybe giving it back to you, but they're just like, say, hey, we still got your money, and we know you want to go cruising. So I think there's a money motivation for people that want to continue to cruise. And then there's people that just want to cruise. I mean, we've all said it. We've talked to a lot of people that are ready to go cruising again. The people that don't want to go cruising, they tend to be in the minority. So there's a very loyal fan base. They're going to start out slow, so there's going to be a low supply. I think the demand's going to be greater than the supply, and I think they're going to be able to get it going. But again, it's going to be different, but it's not going to be like theme park different, in my opinion. And so I think that's what will put people back on cruise ships if you can prove that it's going to be safe. We keep looking at the European model. We think that the European model is good, and so I think you got to take that evidence that they've been cruising for almost 2 months on the Grandiosa and say, look, we should be able to try this. And and if we fail, that's it. I mean, this is the reality, and I can see why the cruise lines are cautious. They keep extending their own dates, right? And so, we say, oh, the government, they shut them down. Well, they just extended beyond the government. So, I mean, you can draw the causation. Oh, we stayed closed longer because we didn't like the government date, but they're still, at the end of the day, people who they're closing themselves down for another month, right? That's what we've reported on for the last few days. The CDC didn't close everybody in November yet, but everybody else has already quit for November, right? Well, that's what I'm saying. Who quit first? The cruise lines quit first. So, I mean, we can beat up the government all we want, but these businesses said, well, we're not going to do it. And so, because they got one shot, right? If they come back and there's Diamond Princess again, it's over. That's it. I mean, none of us will have anything to do again because they're not going to be able to do it. So at the same time that we're advocating that cruising can resume, we have to realize that if it doesn't go well, then we're going to have to find something else to talk about.
Right.
Well, see, that's what worries me about Carnival. How we were talking about they might start some of their November cruises, right? I would rather than take that month, make sure everything is in place, and start in December if they're not sure. I don't want any chances. Don't take any shortcuts. You know what I mean? Every crew member trained. Everybody's quarantined for 14 days. Make sure everything's ready to go and then launch. Don't rush it because that's a recipe for disaster like what happened in Norway.
Yeah.
Well, and Norway didn't follow I mean, the other thing that's going to be major is following these protocols, enforcing them not only with their crew, but enforcing them with the guests. If that doesn't happen, and if everybody that gets on cruise ships in North America are all like, look, I'll do whatever I want, it's not going to work out.
Yep.
And I think that's the biggest challenge. I don't know how the cruise line is going to overcome that, because we've seen plenty of instances on cruise ships where people just do what they want, and it will not work. I mean, I keep talking about the cruise bubble. People doing what they want will bust the integrity of the cruise bubble, and we'll be back to square one. We'll be gone. That's my opinion.
Yeah, really good points, guys, because, we all know this game. The first day of the cruise, we all are told what the rules are, and we do the muster drill and all that. And about 3-4 hours later, after the 5th and 6th drink have been consumed, some people are already out of control.
Yeah.
And, you get into international waters, the first night, and the piano bars are rocking and rolling, the karaoke's going, and some people forget the fact that they're supposed to behave themselves, and they are now in, the fourth drink is the drink that turns someone from being compliant to being an aggressive person, and now they're challenging the ship security to a fist fight as to who's going to be in charge of me and what I do. You worry about that, no question. And the so-called first short excursion, the ship, the cruise ship bubble that Mr. Fain was talking about from Royal Caribbean this week, talking about we're going on a cruise, we're going to be in a cruise ship bubble. Well, I can't see going into downtown Nassau and just being allowed to walk among the flock.
Or you won't be. Nope.
No way.
No. But if we take our cue like they did with MSC, that very first couple that walked away from the shore excursion, they kicked them off the ship immediately. Yeah. Haven't heard anything anymore of anyone trying it again, right? Yeah. That's what the cruise lines here in North America have to do, the exact same. Oh, you want to take off your mask in this place? We told you, we warned you, we asked you. Very next stop, you're out.
You're gone. You're gone.
People won't do it again. I've been an advocate. I literally hate the mask. I really do. But I wear it when I'm out in public.
Yeah.
Everybody else's convenience, right? I loathe the mask. But here, let me show you what happened. I was in the local mall just yesterday, out shopping for my granddaughter for Thanksgiving. They're coming over for Thanksgiving dinner. And I walk by and there's this lady, and she goes and she pulls down her mask, sneezes, goes like this.
Wow.
And then pulls her mask back up, and then continues in a mall that is only about 7 feet wide. As I'm walking, and I just shake, I laugh because it's so ridiculous. But I thanked her for wearing the mask. But yeah, I mean, we have to laugh at this situation. Otherwise, we'll all just sit in our house and cry all the time.
Yeah.
It's been a long 9 months. Like when we're a couple months into this, I'm like, humanity survived the Spanish flu. It took 2 or 3 years. We went through World War II. We'll be okay. We're all just sitting around on the internet. But man, at 9 months, I'm like, man, I'm ready for something to break free, so that we can try something, because it's daunting. Like, you wouldn't think it would be, but it's pretty daunting just to ride this thing out.
I agree. I was mentioning this on my live show on Monday night. I had to. Some of my viewers said to me, Bruce, you dropped the mic. You did a mic drop on Monday night. I'd had enough over the weekend. I got a whole bunch of people just piling in with their anger and their frustration, and they just jumped in one of my videos, and then they started targeting the presenter because you're the one who caused this virus. And when and they look at you and go, you say hello? What do you mean you're saying hello? That's like a Democrat. That's like a Republican. You hate America. I'm just like, what is going on with you people? So I dropped the mic on Monday night and kind of set the record straight about I love America and I love Americans. I want to go cruising so bad, but the anger out there is palatable. We feel it. But I was going to say that on the Monday night show, I mentioned how I love watching these documentary shows and these movies about the sacrifices that were made during the Second World War, the so-called Greatest Generation. And I love the series, the Pacific and I love the multi-part series through the the European campaign, Saving Private Ryan. I mean, all these movies. I just love that, and I really enjoyed these documentaries that talk about what it was like on the home front and what kind of sacrifices Americans made, Canadians made, the Brits had to make. And then on the other side, the Germans had to make sacrifices, the Russians made sacrifices, like it or not, and all the other countries. And at the end of the war, there were winners and there were losers, but the war was over, and now, humanity continues on. And I then think about today's situation. And what really amazes me is that this virus is the enemy, and it's no one's property. It's just a virus.
Yeah.
And the enemy of the virus is all of us. And it doesn't matter where you live and what you think and what religion you're of and what political party you have and whether you love cruising or not or what. It doesn't matter. The virus is a killer, and it's silent. You can't smell it. You can't see it. You can't taste it. And we just know that it pops up and can take you out. And we're not prepared. It seems to me we just don't seem to be prepared to pay the price to beat this thing like our grandparents did, because my parents were children, teenagers when the war ended. So it was their parents who had to really do the sacrifice. And I thought, the grandparents of our grandparents of this generation really made a serious sacrifice for a long time to win the cause at the end of it all. And it didn't matter what side you were on, even in those years. But from 39 to 45, sacrifices were made. And then what blows me away is from 1945 to 54, the Brits were still under rationing, even after they won the war. They were the winners. And they were on rationing until 54. Can you imagine not being able to buy butter or sugar until 1955? All you wanted. And the sacrifice was still being done to pay the bill of winning the war. And here we are, 9 months into a global pandemic, where there's an assassin out there, millions of them, billions of these things, trying to get us. And some of us are willing to make it go away, and others are not. It's like herding cats. It's really amazing. So that's my 2 bits worth on what's going on out there. And I tell you,
come on, Bruce. I mean, we tweeted about it. I mean, what more can we do?
that's right.
I made a post on social media.
That's right. I created a video. What more do you want from me?
The interesting thing, and I don't disagree with you that this is a silent enemy that we're all facing. But do you think there's a lack of relativity, unless it's somebody in your family that passes away or something like that it's hard to make that emotional connection to where you'd want to sacrifice? I mean, when you think of the Great Wars, those kind of things, you were afraid that your life as you knew it would go away, your liberty would go away because of what's going on around the world. To me, that's what I see. The people that I see that really connect with this, a lot of times they're people that have been affected close to home, had somebody that got really sick or lost a relative, heaven forbid. To me, I see the transition point like that also. So I can see it at the same time. Like we're fighting on a lot of different fronts, right? The virus is out there. It's indiscriminate. It's happy to infect people. Some people it's going to kill. Some people it's not going to bother at all. And then at the same time, the prolonged change of the life that we know, this really engaged life, is starting to be another enemy that we're fighting, because people are really struggling in the day-to-day. People like in industries that are not open, like cruising, people are going to ask the question, how am I going to feed my family, even though this killer is out there? And so I think that's the real rub that we're seeing, is this, how do you balance this fighting this virus and keeping people fed? And I think that's where you see a lot of the pushback. If it's not close to you because you haven't had it in your family, you may not be connected to it. And then at the same time, if your life is drastically different from something that hasn't really affected you, then the people are scratching their heads, frustrated, like, why can't I go to work? Because this isn't really affecting me. And so I get it. It's hard. I don't know how you crack that nut. I mean, that's a really complex problem that it doesn't seem like anybody's got a good handle on. But it's a lot of stuff to balance, I think.
Yeah, good point.
Well, it also depends on where you live, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's so much more severe in different areas. And I can give you a real good example here. We're Ottawa, Canada. It's the capital of Canada. In the area, if you count the Quebec region and everything, there's about 2 million people. All summer, we averaged under 10 cases a day. out of 2 million people, right? During that time, when we were that low, they kept tightening restrictions. We didn't have a mask policy until July, end of August. So we're seeing 6 cases a day, no deaths, and then they institute a mask policy. So it seemed like it was tightening and tightening and tightening. And now that we're on the rise again, people are saying, well, now what? Right? And we're still seeing the rise. We're seeing a lot of cases now, but the death toll has stayed the same.
Right.
So the difference is we're protecting the old age homes now. We're protecting the hospitals now. March and April, we did none of that.
Yeah.
Right? Absolutely none. We did not step foot in an old age home in Ontario until the end of April.
Right.
Well, guess what? 80% of the people who have passed away from this virus in Canada are all from old age homes.
The most vulnerable.
Had we just done that,
Yeah.
this virus in Canada at least would not look anything like it does right now.
Right.
So
Right.
now it's too late.
Yeah.
Luckily, the death rate is leveled off still. It hasn't gone up.
Right.
But our cases are going up. But we're testing 50,000 people a day. In March, we were testing 9.
Right.
So it's hard to tell. That's what people look at and say, well, yeah, our cases have doubled, but we're testing 5 times as much.
Yeah.
So it's really better. And people are saying, no, it's not. And then you have doctors now arguing back and forth. The people who are saying they're saying now shut down restaurants and bars in Ottawa again and Ontario. And then you have all these other health professionals now coming out, the university teachers and everything. They're coming out, no, because people are having too much anxiety. It's not good for our children not being in school. Parents can't handle and all this other stuff. So it's really frustrating no matter which side you're on. I don't know. It's hard. Like I said, in Ottawa, I could have thrown my mask away and had a really good argument of why we shouldn't wear masks. If I was living in California and New York when that broke out, I'd have a huge argument for being on it. Right? So it's just hard. It really is. And
that's the thing. It's the overlapping narratives and the different narratives. I mean, because of the ability to communicate and for people to have a voice that's not really been true in any other huge disaster. I mean, it was easy in World War II. Germany bad, fight Germany. That's the narrative. Here it's like wear a mask, and then just a loud voice, don't wear a mask, and this is real and this is not real. And so you have all these competing narratives, and to Don's point, you just end up in a massive confusion. Like we all know about it. Like we publish a video that doesn't really have anything to do with any political thing at all, and it's just full of political rhetoric from both sides, narratives from both sides, and then you get to pick and choose what you believe. And you almost wish that there was an easy thing to say, like, okay, Germany bad. Like if you just had a single narrative that we could all rally behind, that would be fine. But you got all these tribes out there and you got everybody with all these opinions, from rational arguments that you can interact with to just crazy stuff that you don't know how people even think of this, and multiple people think it. So I think it's really peeled back the, kind of peeled back a layer of where we're at in society today that I don't know that you can get people to cohese around a single idea. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Good points. All points are excellent points here. And the comments that I'm getting are all over the map. I'll read my comments, and one person will say, I love your videos. Next video, you're an idiot. Next video, agree with everything you say. Next comment, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Next comment, you nailed it right on, Bruce. Next one, fake news. I'm going, how can all these folks be watching my videos? There's no consistent, anything. But, it is what it is. What I kind of remind myself is when I'll see a video after a week or so, I'll go, okay, the video had 8,000 views and I had 250 comments. Well, 8,000 people watched it, only 250 commented on it. 7,750 didn't say anything. Now, do they all like it? Do they all hate it? There aren't a bunch of thumbs downs on it. So, most people kind of just go with it and say, yeah, well, you're making your point, and YouTube is a place where you can say what you want to say, and let's move on. It's all good. Let me ask you guys this question. A couple of things that are coming in my mind right now. First of all, in Europe, they're sailing in a limited way. We know that. Have you guys been able to determine through any contacts of yours, any viewers of yours, exactly what the occupancy rate is for those ships over there? How many, of the...
Some of them are at 70%.
Yeah.
Most of the Grandioso is up around 65%.
Yeah.
They could probably sell out if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Right now, by the 15th of this month, there will be 21 cruise ships able to hold more than 1,500 passengers sailing around the world.
Okay.
Not here though. but you know what? We haven't heard of any outbreaks.
Not much.
Even the 3-ship cruise line and the 2-ship cruise line.
Yeah.
Haven't heard nothing, right?
Yeah, most of the like Paul Gauguin, stuff like that, really small cruise ships where they're not throwing the same level of protocol that say like an MSC is. So yeah, it seems like the outbreaks, and think about it, guys. The last 2 weeks we haven't had any outbreak stories. I don't think on even those small ships. I'm scratching my head to think of that. So
there was a river cruise in Portugal or something.
Yeah. A couple crew members. Again, it's tiny stuff, but I've had my eyes locked in on this MSC cruise bubble, and they're getting it done. Like I think they've completed 7 cruises, so that's almost 2 months of cruising, and they're doing something right. I said it today to somebody that I believe that this might be the safest place to be, is on that cruise ship there on on the Grandiosa, because there's nowhere else I can go where everybody I'm hanging out with have had a test that came back negative. And I can do that on a cruise ship. Yeah. And I can do that on a cruise ship. And I can't go to my local Walmart and know that the guy next to me that refuses to wear a mask got a negative COVID test. So, I'm serious. Like, if this is what we get in North America, it might be a safe haven for people that want to go and be with negative people. So I'm looking forward to it.
Right on. Yeah. Okay. The other point, another point I was going to ask was all ships with 250 or more passengers, according to the CLIA, will have to do testing before a cruise starts.
Crew and passengers, yeah.
Yeah, crew and passengers. What kind of tests should it be? What kind of tests are there now as well? Aren't there like 4 or 5 different kinds of tests available these days?
There's probably multiple versions, but the primarily, like what they're doing on MSC is they're giving you the antigen test, which is the rapid test, and that test to see if the proteins exist that are on, that coronavirus has got those spiky proteins. That's the one they can get the test back quickest on. And the only problem is that's the most unreliable test. And so that's the first test that they give you. And if you come back with a positive result, then they drop you down into that PCR test. And the PCR is the one that looks for the DNA of the virus, the genetic material. And if they see, the interesting thing on MSC is you can test positive on the antigen test, but when they give you the more accurate test, the PCR test, if you come back negative on that, they'll let you on the cruise ship. But if you test positive on the antigen and then test positive on the PCR test, you can't get on the cruise ship. And the PCR test is more expensive, takes a little longer to get the results back. They can still do it there at the terminal, but yeah, it's pretty wild. Okay,
cool.
Sorry, I'm just reading some of the comments.
I thought I'd just pop them up. There's so many comments coming in. I can't read them all. I thought while Tony's doing this, I'm talking a couple, pop them up there. Folks are really enjoying this show. We have 535 people here right now. We've been at over 500 for the last 20 minutes who are here. And welcome all of you. We're not ignoring you, believe me. The 3 of us are so into our discussion here. We're hoping you're enjoying it. I'm trying to keep an eye on the comments as they fly by. And again, anyone who's making a contribution to the cause, I'm trying to highlight those as best I can. We really appreciate it. We know there are viewers here from Europe right now. I've seen some of the message already. There are folks here from Australia, New Zealand, certainly all over the US and Canada, obviously Caribbean. Welcome all of you to Traveling with Bruce. The 3 of us, we love doing what we do. We love doing our videos. We love our viewers, and we know that there are viewers here tonight from all 3 channels who follow all 3 of us, and we're all glad you're here and spending some time with the 3 amigos tonight. We get a kick out of being on camera, and having this kind of a following tonight is really kind of cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say we did this once before on my channel, so this is a good opportunity. 500 people. If you're not subscribed to Bruce, if you're not subscribed to Don, if you're not subscribed to La Lita Loca, make sure you subscribe because there's no telling where this pops up again. So you want to make sure that you're on that notification squad.
Make sure to hit that bell notification icon.
That's right. So make sure you make sure. I just saw in the chat somebody wants to know if I'm wearing pants tonight. I'm not wearing pants. There you go.
None of us wear pants.
Yeah, I very rarely, unless my wife makes me put on pants, I don't wear pants. So
we made a pact before the show to undress and only wear tops tonight.
If you can't leave the house, why do you need pants?
That's right. This is a pants-free zone until November, till the end of November. CDC rule. Sorry.
That's right. We're just, we're following a protocol. It's a YouTube protocol.
That's right.
You might not know of it, folks. It's sort of an inside YouTube protocol that we follow. And what can I say?
That's right.
Right on.
Bruce, I just want to say something quick there to both of you guys. I know, like, we talk often a lot of times, and being on YouTube during this time, people get angry and you get those comments, right? Like you were saying, you'd make a video and you get the good comments and then you get the hate comments and the angry comments, but they're not necessarily coming at us.
Yeah.
They're coming out at frustration. And I have a perfect example of that happened just this week. Last week. All my videos, I normally get between 300 to 500 comments. Okay. I put out one video just updating my health. Nothing to do with cruising, didn't do anything. Just said, hi, everybody. Just want to update everybody because I get a lot of emails. It's at 1,500 comments.
There you go.
Like, so, I mean, and everybody's thumbs up. Way to go. I get messages on Facebook. I get messages on my email. People are phoning me up. And I just had a very lovely woman out there. I'm not going to say her name, but she knows who she is. She sent me a $100 Amazon gift card just saying, I heard the good news, go buy yourself something.
That's awesome.
And that's just amazing. Like, that's why I love being on this journey on YouTube. People have been so encouraging to me all through everything I've been through, and I've met some great friends, present company included.
Thank you.
So, but yeah, it just goes to show you get those hate comments, but I think it's more about everybody's more just frustrated than actually angry at what we're saying.
Right.
And the positive way outnumbers the negative. It's hard, right? Like we get a notification on every comment. And so there's days where those negative comments will weigh on you, but you have to just step outside and say, look, there's way more positive comments here. And without getting too sappy, Don, I was super happy about your health report. And so because I got some redemption to do on a bowling alley somewhere, but that's what I told Don. I'll tell Don, I told Don since he had that good health report, I'm no longer allowing him to beat me at things. So how about that?
That's right. No more mercy on his soul.
Out of sympathy.
It's over.
Wink. So it's going to be a different story on the next bowling alley, Don.
Right, baby.
Poor Tony. We have unlimited bowling on the MSC cruise. So
unlimited losing for me
all the time. He didn't realize. He doesn't. I did tell him that I used to be in the professional bowling league. So, like, I haven't done it in 20 years, but I still know what to do.
That's right.
Yes. You don't. It's like riding a bike. You remember. Yeah, I agree with you, both of you guys. The viewers are, it's what it's all about. If we were making videos and all we got was hate, YouTubers wouldn't last very long. Thankfully, we get just so much love from our viewers. It's incredible, and in so many different ways. It's quite amazing. I too get a lot of private messages on my email account and also through my Facebook Messenger. Just one-on-one messages, that kind of thing. Really nice, very, very humbling. And then when you're when you're live, and in my case, I'll have a couple of hundred people watching me live, and you're getting these comments from way 12-hour time zones away from you. You're just, oh my God, I just cannot believe it. I would never have thought 4 years ago, before I did this, that I would be talking to people so far away from me. And I know that when the day comes, and the day will come where we will travel again, and the three of us will be out there, I now know that, like I'm sure the two of you know, that you go to Australia sometime, there are friends that are waiting to see you. You go to New Zealand, there's friends waiting to see you there. Land in Germany, there are people in Germany that would like to meet you. It blows my mind that, oh my God, I have
very humbling.
Yeah, true friendships that are being built with people across this planet that follow our, our amateur shows as best. We try to be as professional as we can, but we're three amigos that are trying to be the best YouTubers we can be, and we're learning all the editing tricks and whatever we have to learn to be able to present a story to you folks that is somewhat professional. But at the end of the day, we're humbled by the fact that we have a following that is just huge and wide spread out. I was just saying to the two gentlemen here before we went on live, for the first time ever, I met someone in Creston that I don't know that was watching my channel. It's the first time that's happened because there's only 5,000 of us here. And I do know about 10 people locally here who know of me, and they know I'm a YouTuber, and they're polite when you meet them. They go, "Oh yeah, I watch your videos," and you go, "Yeah, right. Yeah. You watch like once a month. You'll watch something." But I actually had someone reach out to me say, "Hey, you're in my town. I can't believe it. You're here. I've been watching you for months, and I didn't know you're a YouTuber because they only watch my recorded shows, not my live shows. During my live shows, I'm always talking about the fact that I'm in Creston, but on my recorded shows, I'm too busy getting to the story at hand." So it's kind of neat to have that happen, but knowing that, yeah, there's local fans, but then there are international followers out there who are following us. It's unbelievable. So yeah, pretty neat. Pretty neat.
Yeah, I count us pretty lucky. I mean, it's a dream job, honestly.
It's changed my life completely.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah.
Last year for Christmas, my sister came down to visit me, and so I took her out shopping at a mall. And it wasn't even a mall I normally go to. It was a bigger mall further away that she wanted more stores, right? So we go there, and I'm in my parka and my hoodie over my head and everything, and I'm walking through the escalator, and I'm going up, and I get this tap on the shoulder, and he says, "Dawn, right?" I go, "Yeah." He says, "I love your YouTube." My sister just goes, "Get out." Not that somebody was there, like that recognized me because of you, but that like I did not look like this, right? I didn't have my uniform. I don't have a green screen behind me.
Right.
I'm all with a parka, and like, how did this person recognize me? I had to just spend a lot of time, as much as I could, with the gentleman. It was so flattering. I couldn't believe it. I like in the middle of Ottawa, randomly shopping for Christmas gifts. Like I don't know if I would recognize Brad Pitt walking through a mall next to me, and this person recognized me. That is the most humbling experience you can actually imagine, right? Like, what's going on? It's crazy.
What's going on? Yeah. Before the show started, I was saying to the two gentlemen here, okay, I'm up here, and then Tony is kind of over here, and then Don is way down here, and we were trying to get Don to lift his chair or something, and he did, but somehow he shrunk again, and we've got a viewer here who I'll pop this up. Who shrunk Don?
Well, it's because I have a big camera, and it's literally less than a foot away from my face. So if I go closer to it,
there you go.
It's almost
Don in 3D.
I mean, I know there are viewers out there who watch all three of us on 65-inch screen televisions. Yeah. And I get a real kick out of sometimes just doing this and going, "How you guys doing out there today?" I get the whole thing. But I tell you, I do admit that I really have a face for radio. But what can I say? We're on. But friends everywhere, really amazing to know. And boy, I cannot wait to start cruising again, guys. I know you can't wait. We've got group cruises we want to do so badly, and but I'm excited because when the time comes that we will start cruising again, we're going to be meeting a whole bunch of folks that have discovered us in the last 6-8 months during this whole thing, because a lot of people are watching YouTube now that weren't watching very often prior to the pandemic. Now they're stuck at home, and a lot of folks have found us, which is, I find, kind of humbling too.
Yeah,
Tony, have you ever been approached in the middle of nowhere by anybody that came up to you and went, "Hey,
Yeah, just recently. So my brother was in town and I had rented a camera. So I was trying to see if I wanted to change what this thing looked like. And I had to return the camera to a FedEx office. Now I live in a small town here in West Florida, hour north of Tampa. The FedEx building is in a like remote business park. And there was big signs, only one person in the FedEx office at a time. I opened the door and I didn't realize somebody was in the FedEx office. The lady says, look, only one person in the office at a time. I had a full mask on. And I said, hey, no problem. I'll stand out here. The guy stopped what he was doing, the customer. He looked up at me and he said, Tony from La Lita Loca, can I get a selfie? My wife will not believe that you're here. And I'm like, yeah, man. And I spent some time talking to this dude. We took a selfie for his wife so she could see it. The FedEx lady comes outside. She says, now, who are you exactly? And I said, ma'am, I'm not really anybody. And this guy's like, no, this guy's on the YouTube. You know, we watch him all the time. And I can't believe I'm standing here. Like the guy was like, I can't believe I'm standing here talking to you. And I'm like, dude, it's very humbling. It kind of blows your mind. We're used to it when we're on cruise ships because, you know, people are, you know, they know us because we're in our audience there. But yeah, we've been recognized. Of course, Jenny's here in the chat. We've been recognized at the local Walmart. You know, we live in Florida now, so I guess there's more cruisers. But yeah, that was the most interesting one. Had on a mask. You know, I was shocked. I was honestly shocked that the guy heard my voice and said, "Oh, okay, this is
the
Tony."
voice.
Yeah, so it was pretty wild. It's pretty wild.
Yeah. Have you ever been? I was standing in line at one of the Gator shows in Florida, waiting to go to my flight home. You take one of those little excursions after the cruise.
Okay.
And I'm sitting in line, and I'm just here like this, and I hear my theme music go off behind me. And somebody's there with the phone, and she's showing her mom going, like this.
That's the guy.
I turned around and said, just turn that annoying music off. I hate that guy. And then we had a good conversation. And
I had a very similar experience embarking in Miami, Port of Miami. I'm getting on the MSC Seaside. I'm standing there. I'm trying to like make my video and stuff like that. And all of a sudden I'm like, that looks like Don Terrace. And it was Don Terrace. It was the first time we met Don. And so that was I had my own moment of fanboyness when I was like, that's Don Terrace. Look at that.
He's famous, that guy. That is.
Did you know that story, Bruce, when I first met Tony on a cruise?
No.
Well, I tried to fake that I wasn't somehow going to show up on the cruise. So
I'm the worst faker. You know he's going to be there.
But I said, okay, I'm going to sneak on the cruise and surprise them both, right? So I'm in line, and not 6 people in front of me out of the 4,000 people getting on the cruise is Tony and Jenny.
There they are.
Look, I'm a big guy. Of course, most people know that, but when you see me in person, I do take up some space. So I'm sure it was easy for Don to spot me in that crowd.
But you were 6 people.
Yeah, that was funny.
It's not like way down the line or anything. So there's no way I could hide. It was absolutely hilarious. I said, oh, well, surprise over.
That was a lot of fun.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I tell you, I was supposed to be on my first group cruise. It's December 6th. It's still on technically, but I don't think it's going to happen. We'll find out shortly. My second cruise is supposed to be in February with the group cruise. That's done. That's gone. Odyssey of the Seas. That ship. And so my experience of being on cruise ships with viewers hasn't happened yet. And it's frustrating as all get up because
it's scary, Bruce. It's scary, but it's so much fun. Yeah. It's so much fun. I loved my first group cruise. Like the people are so amazing to me. So nothing could go wrong. It didn't matter. It didn't matter what happened. Everybody was having a good time and just loved being together.
So I was the same way. I was very worried on our first group cruise that, I mean, you feel this responsibility. I mean, I know Don the same because, people are coming to hang out with you. And so you want to make sure that everybody has a blast. And what you realize is everybody's having a blast. Like you really don't have to do anything extra for everybody to be having a blast. And so for me, I'm a little bit of an introvert. It takes me a little while to come out of my shell. These group cruises have been fantastic for me because now I get to meet people that have only been little circles on Facebook, people that I don't know just talking to me. And you're like, it's so hard because I'm a little shy. It's hard to talk to people. But now I've got like real legit friends from going on these group cruises, and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
How about that.
Yeah.
Trademark.
Is that trademark? Look, man, we rode out a typhoon together. I'm using your word.
Yeah.
About a year ago, we were, oh, yeah, we're going to be fine. We're just going to go on a little hurricane cruise
No big
in a
deal.
foreign land.
Our guys figured us out, Tony. Bruce and Tony are sitting on pillows. Laugh out loud, Don. Get your pillow.
That's right.
Yeah, it's true. We're on pillows. We're on telephone books.
That's right.
Yeah, I remember the very first time I got something in the mailbox from somebody early on in my YouTube channel days, and I made the mistake though of having an address in my description of my house, the actual house address here. And, for a while it was fine because stuff would arrive, until the one live show I had to knock on the front door, and it was the kind of knock on the front door that wasn't like a Girl Guide kind of knock, Girl Guide cookie knock. It wasn't one of those tentative knocks. It was kind of I'm knocking and you better be opening kind of knock. I'm thinking, geez, is that the gas company or the electric guy or, is there something? And then the knocking became like pounding, and I'm on live and I'm yelling at the back of the house to my better half, my Jennifer Aniston lookalike wife. I'm saying, Jen, there's someone at the door. And she finally heard me, and she usually when I'm on live, she's in the back bedroom watching TV, so she doesn't interrupt. And she starts going down the stairs, and the pounding it's now kicking. Someone's kicking the door, and she opens the door, and there are two RCMP officers, weapons drawn, standing there with guns pointed at her, and she's got her hands up. We've been swatted, and we were swatted live on the air because I put my home address in my description. And so someone called the local detachment of the RCMP saying that there was something bad happening here, and these two officers were dispatched to this house to investigate what was going on. So
you're lucky you weren't in New York or something. They show up with like 14 officers in SWAT gear when that happens.
AK-47 automatics. Yeah. Well, these two guys, by the time Jennifer got down there, I went down the stairs. I told my viewers, just hang on, I'll be back. And because I got off camera, the show's still going on. I go downstairs and I poke my head out and I see what I see. And these two guys have me come on. I got my hands up in the air. And within 10 seconds, they realized, it's a crank call. We've got these two folks here. There's no issue. So I said, guys, I'm on the air right now on YouTube doing my live show. And that's when it hit them. Okay, they want, the prankster wants to see this guy be dragged off camera by cops with weapons. Quite the show. But my viewer said, you're legit, man. You are legit. You've been spotted on YouTube. You're the real deal. Welcome to YouTube, man. You're awesome. And the next 2 days later, the RCMP officer, the lead guy, came by to just check on us, make sure everything's all right, and make sure we're okay. And he said, listen, did we cause damage to your door? I said, well, you gave it about 3 or 4 kicks, but you didn't break it in, but you did crack the frame and all that. And he says to us, well, we have a fund here at the station. We get a lot of donations and stuff. So if you need to repair the door, whatever the cost is, we'll pay for it, because it's not your fault that we had to kick it in. And I said, thank you, I appreciate it, but coming back to how great our fans are, earlier that day, about half an hour earlier, I received a PayPal notification from PayPal that a viewer had sent us, I think it was 200 euros for the door damage.
Wow.
To repair the door. And
was he the swatter?
Yeah, I was going to say.
No, he was a
money there.
subscriber, everything. But I showed the officer. I said, see this? This just came in about a half an hour ago. The door money is already here. The viewers were so outraged with it all. It was a real kind gesture. So we had a friend of ours who's a handyman, and he had popped by later that afternoon, and whatever damage there was, we got it done. But that's just another indication of the kind of folks that stick with you. That they're there thick and thin. And
I find that with cruises in general, right? Anywhere you travel on vacation, tell me a more friendly group than cruisers.
Oh, yeah.
Like they're always talking in the theater and introducing themselves, and you get into conversations. Dinner tables. You don't go to Disney and sit with 6 other people. You know what I mean? In cruises, you do. That's normal. And I have some fantastic friends, right? Just random. I tell you, every time I go on a cruise, we call ourselves like the front row people, because I sit in the front row for the shows, every single show, and by the end, we know every single, all of our names, we know our life stories almost.
Yeah.
We talk every night, because if you sit in the front row, chances are you sit in the front row every time.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's true. I agree. Yeah, I know that for you two guys, you've already made all kinds of friends that you never thought you'd make from all over the place. It's about to happen to us when we get on a ship as well, because we intend to do. I'm hoping for this channel we can do a cruise every 3 months. So we're doing 4 a year, and it's going to be a European cruise. It'll be a Caribbean cruise. It'll be a Alaskan cruise, whatever, and. I'm really, really excited about it. I think it's going to be humbling, even more humbling than it is on the air, with fantastic. Some of the comments coming in here, people are asking us whether we've compared schedules to figure out when, whether we would ever do a mega group cruise. And I've had this fantasy where maybe, if it's possible to get like 6 or 8 or 10 YouTubers together, and we all kind of team up and say, all right, 2 years from now, whatever, we're all going to do a group cruise together on a ship, and we're going to just take it over. And, if each of us can get 100 or 200 or 300 guests to come with us, we get 10 of us. We might have thousands of YouTube followers following these, 8 or 10, whatever creators. That would be something. But the 3 of us, we haven't yet done any of that, but maybe we should.
Well, Tony was in the. Go ahead, Tony. Take it away.
No. I mean, I don't have anything to announce, but it is, the environment that we came into. All of us are about 3 years into this, right? I mean, that's we all came in 2017.
About that, roughly.
It's a different landscape when it comes to cruise content than it was when we came in. There's some all-stars that were in the space when we first got here. But there is a lot of people now. And so we do see more and more group cruises going. We see people teaming up. I mean, there's tons of opportunity. Let me just say, who knows what the future holds. But, from a Comic-Con type experience to, bringing cruisers to do that, I mean, there's just tons of opportunity out there. And there's no telling where group cruises are going to go. But, yeah, like to Bruce's point, we haven't worked on anything. But, again, it's pretty interesting because 3 years isn't that long. And of course, we've spent most of this year, I guess we're all moving close to our 4-year mark. And so we spent most of this year doing nothing. And so it's going to be like a reawakening once everything starts again. So who knows? I'd say stay tuned and keep asking for a bunch of people to cruise together. It could happen someday.
Yeah. We can't.
Doing nothing.
I'm amazed we've been able to make videos.
We've been making videos every day, but I'm just saying, when it comes to cruising, we've been doing, man.
Yeah.
Again, this is the best job ever, and creating, something out of nothing every day to entertain, to educate, and to try to get your message across is a challenge that I completely love. And it's been tough here in 2020, but again, it's not been so tough that I haven't wanted to do it. So it's, again, very lucky that we get to do what we want to do, but I love it. I can't wait to do it around cruise. I can't wait. I'm the thing I'm saddest about, if I can go on record and say the thing that I'm saddest about, is we may never get another Don Terrace Stop Touching My Food video. Yeah, that's true. Maybe we will. But I mean, if that's the saddest thing that comes out of this is people, I won't get to see that reaction when somebody takes a whole plate of fish sticks, and because now it's getting served to them on the buffet. So
don't touch my food. No,
don't do it.
So I did see a couple comments there that I would just do we know Jim Zim?
Right.
Jim I know Jim Zim. We chatted. I haven't met him in person.
Yeah.
Jim made his big mark with those water slide videos, right?
Jim's got a video with 90 million views on it, I think. Yeah.
But he does mostly model trains and model railroads, and I love watching that kind of stuff. So I watch his videos all the time. And somebody asked who the lovely lady is in my intro video that I put out on all my videos. That is Natalie, and she is the cruise director now on the Island Princess. So when you ever get a chance to get on the Island Princess, she's going to be on my group cruise in Panama in April And I just chatted with her the other day, and she's going through training right now. But she is one of the nicest people out there, and I'm really looking forward to being able to cruise on her ship again. I'm glad. Like when I knew her, she's one of the entertainment people, and just before all this happened last summer, she became the island's cruise director. So looking forward to being able to cruise with her again.
Right on, right on. Yeah, pretty cool stuff, man. Yeah, we've had a pretty interesting experience being YouTubers. It's changed our lives, no question about it. 4 years ago, or 3.5 years ago, before I started this channel, I had an idea of kind of what I thought it would be like, but I also had sort of fantasies of what I was hoping it would be like. And a lot of my, a lot of it's been very positive, very little negative actually, but much more positive. I love the freedom of being a self-employed person, set my schedule. Sometimes I'm just so tired that I just can't do a video today. I need to take the day off and rest. Other days, I'm doing 2 videos in one day. 2 videos and 2 live shows. It's just nonstop. But you have to sort of, in this thing that we do, covering the cruise business, we have to be ready at a moment's notice sometimes to cover breaking news, because when it breaks, and we know in the back of our minds, well, there's a lot of folks depending on us to kind of keep them posted on what's going on, and that motivates me to work as hard as I work to be doing it. How many hours a day do you guys put in, generally speaking, would you say, to the channel?
What do you think, Don?
Well, because I'm also a travel agent as well, and I have to answer emails and all that, I easily put in about 10 hours a day, and that's if people don't call me at night. Because don't forget, if you live in California, you get home and you eat, and then you call. It's 6 o'clock, but it's 9 o'clock my time. So it can range a lot of times. Weekends, it doesn't matter. I encourage people to call me whenever they need to reach me.
Right.
I'd rather them feel at ease than not call me. So, but yeah, a lot of times, like I love the video aspect of it. Right now, I don't like the travel agent aspect of it.
Right.
The cancellation work is crazy.
We're canceling and we're disappointing people, and we don't really have any encouraging news. Yes, we are going, guys. This is great, right? But I still love the video aspect of this, and I just wish I had more time to spend on that, like answering the comments every day. When you get 1,500 comments, you know how long that takes. Yeah. I read every single one. I just don't have the chance to answer every single one, and that's my biggest wish, that I had time to do that.
Yeah. Tony, what about you?
That's what I was going to say. The challenge is, especially if you put up daily content, then that content becomes the primary function of that day. And so it's my wife and I work primarily on the creative side. She works on the travel side. So to Don's point, all of these cancellations, it's wild. Jenny has been working on some things for multiple years that all of a sudden just went bye-bye, just disappeared, and you still have to help people get fixed up that way. But when you're running, everybody knows it here, but we'll reveal it a little bit. It's like you're running a small business. So you are accounting, and you are creative, and you're merchandise, and you're webmaster, and you're filmer, and you're film editor, and you're on-screen talent, and and that's just the creative side of it. And then Jenny's over there. She's the travel agent, and she's the face of the travel agency. And it's like you can work all the time. I would say that we mark out more we call them breaks, right? So we'll get up and we'll work half the day. We'll have some lunch. We'll spend some time together. If the weather's right, we'll take a swim, and then we work the night shift. And so it's hard to quantify how many hours that you work, because we work, we hang out together, we work, we sleep, and we do it again, and we do it every day. And we do it when we're on cruises. I mean, Don can attest to, if you're a daily uploader, even when you go cruising, you feel weird if you don't upload a video. If you don't have something in that slot because you know that people are expecting it, you're like, oh man, I didn't have a video. I mean, there's days where we were traveling together. It's like, did you get a video up? Yeah, I got one up. Did you get one up? Because it's just it's the ebb and flow of it. And the challenge to that is that sometimes you don't end up taking a break. And so But yeah, it's a lot. I try not to quantify it because they say that if you enjoy what you're doing, it's not working anyways. And so that's the way I feel about it. Again, you know, I sit around in my underpants and make videos about something I'm interested in, and then I connect with a lot of cool people. I have trouble complaining about that. So
Yeah.
it's a great life.
Yeah, there you go. I find that Jennifer, my better half, she's a great sleeper. She sleeps every morning. I will get up. I make her tea every morning at 8 in the morning our time. But I get up whenever, you know, the brain just turns on. I mean, there's a point where I can't sleep anymore, and sometimes I'm up at 4 in the morning here, and that's 7 Eastern. And I'm having I make myself my coffee, and it's quiet, it's dark, there's no one around, there's nothing going on, and that's alone time for me. So I can have my coffee and sit down with my computer and just look at the analytics of the channel, see what's going on out there, start following you know, cruise news and news in general, and put the TV on, start watching the pre-markets for the stock market channel, see what's happening there and everything else. But I'll find that there are days where I get up at 4 and I'll be in bed at 9 or 10 at night, and other days where I get up at 6 or 7 in the morning and hang out and last until about 11 or 12. But it's rare that I make it to 11 o'clock at night nowadays, because after 10 or 12 straight hours of working, there's no energy left. And I'm finding now that it's almost mandatory to get a 15, 20, 30-minute nap somewhere in the day just to power down, do a video, get a nap, then get going again and do the second half. But the motivation is huge, just huge motivation to want to be on that channel and to be current and to be aware of what is happening out there. And you know, I'm clicking on my YouTube links. What's Tony talking about? What's Don talking about? What are these guys talking about? What's happening over here? What's happening overseas? What's going on with all the different news services? Just to be aware of the, you know, the full picture. And it's a turn on. I do remember when I was in my 30s and 40s and 50s and working for, you know, either on my own or for other people, there were mornings where you didn't want to get up. I don't want to go to work today. Oh yeah. Where this gig, I can't wait to get up. I can't wait to get started, because it's this you know, every day it's like you're getting a report card from YouTube telling you how you're doing, the view numbers, the subscriber counts, are you making any ad revenue, and then the commentary and whatever.
Can you eat this week?
Daily report card, man.
I had one person once on my comments were making, Don makes $30,000 to $50,000 a month on ad revenue, and I just, what site are you looking at?
Like, have I been hacked? Where's that money?
Where's my money?
Yeah, I wish that was the case. Wouldn't that be so cool? But yeah, no. I said, first of all, I'm staying in inside cabins. If I was making $50,000 a month, I'd be in suites every cruise I went on. So yeah, it's not even close.
Right.
It's not bad, neither, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But it's funny when people think all YouTubers make this much money. I said, no, if you have 10 million subscribers, you make that.
Sure.
Right? And they're buying your merchandise and they're buying your program. You know, yeah, no. And you get sponsors.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
No. But it was just hilarious that they said that.
You were talking about Jim Zim earlier, and I had the pleasure of talking to him on the phone about a year and a half ago when I was maybe even 2 years ago. I was very small. I think I had only about 4,000 or 5,000 subscribers. And at that time, he had 275,000 subscribers. And talked to him on the phone one day, and I asked him, I said, wow, you know, 275,000 subscribers and millions of views on your channel. I think it was at 250 million. I said, how many sponsors have you got? He goes, none. I'm going, oh my, defeating. You're that big and you don't have a subscriber. But I found out the more I talked to him that he was a part-time YouTuber. He wasn't even a full-time tuber. And I thought, you can't be serious. Why are you not a full-time YouTuber? You've got these millions of followers. You've got these views. But in reality, he would say to me, yeah, but when I do a video about, you know, my train sets and stuff, I might only get 10,000 views on a video. The next video I make about whatever the subject, I get 600,000 views. I don't know. There's no consistency to my channel at all. And I'm going, wow, that would be, that would then be a bit of a challenge. And I kind of thought about it and went, well, in my case, I'm on a slow treadmill going higher and higher and higher. And I remember when I first started with, 200 subscribers, I was happy getting 500 views on a video after a week, and then for a while it was like, if I don't get 1,000 or 2,000 views, something's wrong. And then if I didn't get 3,000 or 4,000 views, something's wrong. And it's just all a slow progression, and you've got to get used to the level you're at and where you're about. And every once in a while you get a video that just poof takes off on you, and you go, wow, I did something good. But I have no idea what the heck it was. And then the other time you'll do a video, you thought you did a great job on the video. I nailed this video as I was on this story. Nobody is watching it. They don't like it. You get all these negative comments. That's part of the trick of being a YouTuber as well. You have to go with the flow.
Well, I know you're big into the analytics and everything, Bruce, for everything. I'll tell you honestly, I look at for anyone who doesn't know, you can look on YouTube Analytics. It'll tell you how many subscribers you got and what your rough ad revenue is and all this other stuff. I literally go on there and see, is my video still monetized? And that's it. I don't look at how many views it got. I don't look at, unless somebody asks me, I don't even look at it until halfway through the month. Then I'll just do an ad, because I found myself obsessing over it. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, I got to do a better video or a longer video because I want more ad revenue. And you know what? I just decided, I'm having so much fun doing this that it doesn't matter that that's what those numbers are. The numbers will come. Don't worry about it. Just have fun. And that's trying to do that motto. And it's worked well. Yeah. I have a great time doing these videos, and I cannot thank everybody enough for being out there. But I rarely look at my analytics unless there's something wrong. Yeah. If I don't get a check at the end of the month.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the one thing about YouTube is that they, this is a negative and a positive at the same time. They don't talk to us. YouTube doesn't reach out to us and say, hey, Bruce, how's it going? Nice job last month. We get these automated messages from computers that tell us how our channel is doing, and we'll when we log into our analytics in the morning, there'll be a generic computer generated thing saying you generated this many views last month, which is kind of what you normally do, or it's a little more than you do, or a little less, but it's not a human being talking to you. None of us, I don't think any of us have a phone number we can call YouTube with to talk to them. And I can see a good reason, because there are probably 50 million YouTube creators out there globally, and there's no telephone system that can handle the calls if they are allowed people to phone in. And so we're left alone in that sense. So sometimes we feel like we're on an island. We're wondering if we're doing everything okay or not, especially when you're really small. When you're a brand new YouTuber, you don't know whether you're okay or not. You're really not sure. Am I doing this right or not? I don't know. But as you get into the second year, into the third year, like we are now into our fourth year, you kind of get used to the flow, and kind of what the way it's going. But you're also aware this platform never stays stationary. It's always moving, and our viewers are moving. Our the way we are doing what we do is changing, and we have to be on the ball all the time. But I just love the challenge. I find this so much fun and so enjoyable when I get a video out there and I get reactions back, and you can see the climbing of the numbers and all that. That's a turn on for me, definitely. But the other thing that really blows me away, and I'm sure for you guys too, is the generosity of our viewers. They are above and beyond. They're fantastic. And my personal story that I'll close with was the computer I'm using right here for this broadcast. It's a MacBook Pro 16-inch computer. It's what I have here. Very expensive in Canada, because you got to pay Apple Canadian dollars for this American product. It's extremely expensive, and I had scoped out this machine for about 6 months. I did my research on what kind of a computer I was going to go into, and I I thought for sure that this was going to be about almost a $4,800, $5,000 investment in Canadian money. And I did another trip to Calgary to double check and go through everything. I went to the Apple store and talked to the Apple reps about everything, and it was just a scouting mission. Came back and I realized I'm $1,500 short. I need another $1,500 because there's Apple Care and there's the software and there was the upgraded this and that. Well, I had been talking on my live shows to my viewers about I'm going to upgrade my computer from a PC, which is dying, to this new powerful machine. And I came to them and I said, I got to delay the purchase longer because I'm short, way short of what I thought it was. And all of a sudden, these donations started coming in, just out of the blue. And checks in the mail started showing up out of the blue. I mean, it's just, you go to the mailbox expecting the bill from the power company, and you're opening up the envelopes, and there's 3 envelopes there that are not from any organization. They're private envelopes, and you're opening it up, and you're just going, oh my God, the outpouring of people's donations, just incredible. And so humbling, to say the least. I think Don's connection just dropped on us. We'll see if he comes back.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
Give me a second. Battery's dead.
Okay. Anyway, so the generosity of the viewers is the one that just chokes me up. I really am just blown away by that they really do love you, and they follow you and they're with you, and you've got a team of people behind you that are supporting you, and they're out there, and I can't wait to meet as many of them as possible. So that's my Tony, what about you?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, I can't. I think you said it. You said it well. It's that is the most humbling thing. Is you're hoping that you're making connection points with people, and we do. And so, yeah, I can't say enough about how it is humbling the amount of people that you connect with and reach out, and we've got story after story of that. And so, super appreciative.
Yeah,
you're back, Don. Don, you're back.
You're back, Don. Welcome. You made it. Plug it in, man. Well, guys, it is 9:36 Eastern time. We've been on for an hour and 30 odd, and I gotta say, I thoroughly enjoyed the show. I'm sure you two have as well.
Yeah.
From the commentary from the viewers here, I think they've had a pretty good time following us as well. There have been a couple snide comments, but I skipped those.
We're YouTubers. We're used to it.
We're used to this. Yeah, we have thick skins. A lot of my relatives say to me, I can't believe you're how thick-skinned you are. I never thought, but I tell them, look, when you're off camera, there are comments that are hurtful. They're hurtful, but you gotta just you gotta just move on, and you gotta keep reminding yourself that 99.9% of those viewers, great people, and every once in a while you get a jerk, and that's the price you pay. That's the price you pay for being in this business. What can I say? But yeah, guys, appreciate all of you out there who followed us. We were up as high as 550 people watching at the same time for a good hour. And even during, right now, the debate is on, the so-called VP debate is on, which I'll hear all about on the news. I don't need to watch it live. 337 still here watching, following us. It's really incredible. Folks are saying thank you, great show. You guys are fantastic, guys. All of you out there, we all three thank you so much for your support of our channels, following our best videos, watching our worst videos. Sometimes we get it wrong, sometimes we get it right. We do the best we can with what little we all have, and we really appreciate the fact that you guys just stick with us day after day, week after week, video after video, and we cannot
rant after rant.
That's right.
Yeah, technical glitch after technical glitch. What can I say? We thank you for the thumbs ups, everyone, the super chats that came in tonight, and your kind words, and we love it. We encourage all of you to visit our channels and check us out if you haven't checked us out before, and consider subscribing if you would. If you do subscribe, hit that bell notification icon, because it's the only way you're going to be getting any kind of a notification from YouTube that we're up to something. And the three of us are usually up to something, especially with breaking news. We'll crank a video out at any time. There are YouTubers out there that'll only do a video once a week. and they have a same time, same day that they release a video. These three guys here, we're just following what's happening, and the news is the news, and there's just a lot going on, and you never know when we crank something out. Tony, did I cover it all tonight? You think we're okay?
You know, I don't think there's anything left to say, Bruce. I think we're good until the next time we do this.
Our hair is perfect.
That's right.
Skin tone is perfect. The makeup lasted the whole show. Don, your collar perfect as usual. Your tailor is obviously working for you. Our security teams are waiting to escort us off the red carpet once we shut this down. And the paparazzi, we know, are everywhere. So, folks, if you see pictures of us in Esquire magazine or these tabloids, don't believe everything. Believe the good stuff, but these rumors of our private life, don't believe it. We really we have people we pay to take care of our reputations, and just listen to them. That's what I
just want to clear things up. That wasn't me in Norway. That was Tom Cruise. I got all these messages saying, "What were you doing in Norway?" But
I thought
it was Tom. It was Tom. We get that all the time. We joke about it. It's quite.
I couldn't reach you there for a couple of days, Don, and I wasn't sure. Thanks for clearing that up for us, because it is really true what happens. You know, the paparazzi are everywhere. I know Tony suffers from it all the time. He and Jen are constantly being chased wherever he goes. Don can't get in. Don can't go anywhere without.
I can't Christmas shop. It's crazy.
It's tough. It's
you guys all know we're just joking, right? Because
yeah, we're joking. We're kidding. We're kidding out there. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. It's Bruce here with TWB, Tony from Lalito Loca, Don from Don's Family Travels. We thank you so much for following us. We'll do this again sometime. The three of us love to get together and hang out. We'll do another show. You just got to watch us to find out when the next one is, because you never know when the three amigos decide, hey, might be a good idea we get together and shoot the breeze for a while. And we appreciate you following us on all these shows.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
See you on the Lido.
We're going to shut her down.
Fantastic day.
Have a fantastic day. That's right. Hey. And take care, everybody. Bye for now.